live in a world where everyone can experience optimal health and well-being. I'm Joyce Gerber with Health is an Inside Job. I've had a private practice for the last 40 years as a practitioner, clinician, educator, consultant, and coach. My focus very much has been on getting people healthy and having them stay healthy without drugs or surgery, using food as medicine. And I love helping to make health simple, fun, and delicious. At the age of 20, I took my first Declaration of Independence from my parents, and I moved out, and I moved from their home in New York. And for the next 2 years, I lived in Miami Beach. And like all good hippies, I used to hitchhike to get around. Well, one day I stuck out my thumb, and it totally changed my life forever. The person who picked me up, a guy named Johnny, I wish I knew his last name. I would love to find him and thank him. He brought me to my first natural food store and restaurant, and I took to it like a duck to water. I absolutely loved the food. Up until then, I was a little carnivore. And here I am in this vegetarian restaurant, loving the food, reading everything I could get my hands on. And up until that time, my whole paradigm in relationship to food was dieting and overeating and binging and going on a diet. And food was kind of like the enemy. And all of a sudden, I'm in this environment where the whole perspective is food is medicine. Food can heal you. And it was profound for me. So it got clear that I wanted that to be my life's work. I spent the next many years studying, getting my accreditation, and developing this private practice. Now, although my focus is to help people regain their health, reverse disease, and live a life where they feel wonderful in their bodies, there is a given. I have a wise teacher who always talks about we live between two walls. So the woman is pregnant, and at the right time, the baby emerges and comes through the first wall, the wall of life, and is given its breath. And then from that point on, life is moving progressively through the years until our lives end. We no longer need our bodies, and we go through that other wall of death. So that's a natural part of life. But one of the things that I feel has been taking people's power is there's this real fear. We have a medical system where we're always looking for what's wrong, and we're looking for the germ or the virus or the disease or the cancer cell. And it always feels like it's coming from out here. And we're like these hapless victims. And so we're always like connected to the next test we're going to get. And we're always in this state of fear. But the truth is, we're like farmers. Farmers have their soil, and they take the weeds out of the soil. They take the rocks out. They make sure there's enough water and sunlight and hopefully organic fertilizer. And so the way we take our power back, some people will say, well, how do we get our power back? And in the same way that in mental and spiritual and psychological circles, when we're in therapy or in 12-step programs, how often are we told when we blame people, he did it to me, she made me upset, these things made me do this. And somehow we recognize the responsibility is within us. However, that's true with health. We have the responsibility to tend our inner soil. What does our inner soil need? It needs all the nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, the phytochemicals from the foods, the essential oils, the right bacteria, the high levels of chlorophyll, oxygen. And when we create that inner ground, viruses, germs, cancer cells, bacteria can't grow. So we need to shift our focus to that. And I'll give you a couple of examples. My mother, when I had my practice back in the 80s, I moved out to California in 1993. She had a lump in her breast and was terrified. And I said, Mom, let's get you on a program. You have the mammography 10 days away. For the next 10 days, food will be hurting you or helping you. In her case, I got her on a juice fast because Digestion takes more energy than any other body function. So when you lighten or eliminate the digestive energy needed, your body uses that energy to eat up, dissolve, and eliminate whatever is toxic. In her case, after 5 weeks, the lump was gone, her arthritis went away, and she released 35 pounds. She had extra weight. I had a client named Alicia. She showed up at my door telling me that she had been diagnosed with a cyst on her ovary, 3 times the size of the ovary. I got her on a program. We got her off all animal foods, all dairy, no refined sugar, no white flour, no caffeine, alcohol, mostly fresh squeezed juices, living foods. In 1 month, the cyst was gone. She had a second opinion, it was gone. She found me in California years later. And all those years, she maintained the principles I showed her, and she was fine. Another example was a client named Andrea, who had severe diverticulitis, which is when there's so much internal pressure in the colon, the large intestine, little pockets pop out along the walls and they get inflamed and irritated. She had 4 years of extreme pain, was on a medication called Flagyl, and she needed surgery. I put her on a system of superfoods, which is similar to fresh squeezed juices. They're all alive, but it's very user-friendly and easy to use. And I radically changed her diet. I took her and her husband on a guided tour through the health food store, taught them how to shop. In 1 month, the pain was gone. She was off her medication. She didn't need surgery. So it's been so profound for me, and I want to share this with all of you. 3 things I can say that you can do that will change your life. Start to learn about detoxification. Start to learn about regenerative nutrition. Start to learn about gut restoration, and find ways to learn. Find people who will support you. Find ways to help implement what you're learning. Feel free to meet me off this virtual stage. My website is healthisaninsidejob.com. And I will leave you with this. If we don't take care of our bodies, where will we live? Remember, health is an inside job. And I completely encourage you to own your health. Thank you.